An iconic VW vehicle is being radically revived with the 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz. Those who were not alive during the VW Microbus's prime will be able to identify this vehicle on the road and in films. With a twist, Volkswagen is currently offering drivers an alternative opportunity to drive a VW bus. The 2025 VW ID Buzz is an all-electric car having exceptional performance, efficiency, and a luxurious interior. The ID Buzz and ID.4 SUVs and Audi Q4 e-tron SUVs from the Volkswagen Group collection all have similar fundamental structures. Choosing the ID Buzz over those models gives you more family-oriented practicality. 3 rows of seats will be standard on all 2025 ID Buzz models headed for the US. A 91 kWh battery pack propels an electric motor to move the ID Buzz's rear wheels. The RWD van's single electric engine produces 282 horsepower and 406 pounds-to-foot of torque to propel this fairly large van to a top speed of 99 miles per hour. At launch, an all-wheel drive dual-motor variant will be offered with 330 horsepower and 406 pounds-to-foot of torque. At the moment, we have only driven the shorter, less powerful 2-row ID Buzz that is sold in Europe as opposed to the longer, more powerful 3-row ID Buzz. The 201 horsepower and 229 pounds-to-foot of torque produced by the Euro ID Buzz are produced by a single rear motor that is powered by an 82 kWh battery pack. A max speed of 90 miles per hour is what Volkswagen estimates. An inappropriate compliment, any of the original VW Microbuses cannot compare to the ID Buzz's speed. The Buzz performs best when being driven about town at lower speeds since you can instantly access torque to begin moving rapidly. However, given the ID Buzz's size, the 201 horsepower in the European version we drove is simply not very much. The Buzz's lack of power is most obvious when attempting to pass at highway speeds or, worse yet, while doing so fast. Soon, we want to test drive the US version with more horsepower. According to Volkswagen, the Eurovan accelerates to 62 miles per hour. 100 km per hour, from a standstill in 10.2 seconds, which is considerably slower than current minivan and EV standards. VW hasn't yet provided acceleration times, but we anticipate the North American ID Buzz to be far faster. Weight is a crucial consideration. ID Buzz with a single motor is considerably heavier yet almost exceeds all rivals in terms of power. The European model presently weighs between 600 and 700 pounds more than rivals, and its extended American version with a bigger battery pack would likely weigh considerably more. The brakes, which might be tough to stop properly, are another thing that doesn't appeal to us. Additionally, regenerative braking won't bring you to a full stop. The ID Buzz is a quite comfortable seat. The front seat's plush padding and respectable adjustability, including a lower thigh cushion that can be extended for people with longer legs and lumbar support that can be adjusted in 4 different ways, are A+. Our test vehicle was equipped with seat heaters and pneumatic bladders in the cushions that provide gentle seat massages. It would be wonderful to have a seat ventilation option for those of us who live in hotter climates. The second row seat cushions are even more comfortable than the front. The middle row has a 60-40 split that restricts individual adjustment but provides an abundance of legroom. The bench's individual sections can recline and glide forward or back. The third row is exclusive to the US ID Buzz. Although it isn't quite as cozy as the other 2 rows, it is still a far cry from a penalty box. We discovered that, once positioned correctly, an adult who is 6 feet tall may sit behind another person who is 6 feet tall in both the second and third rows. Back row passengers' hair touched the ceiling, and the seat cushioning was a little firmer, but it was enjoyable for the entire trip. It also lies back. A cozy cabin is created when air vents are placed to satisfy the needs of the passengers in the back. Being closer to the center of the Buzz's large wheelbase improves the ride comfort for passengers up front. But the second row does undoubtedly feel a little stiff. But with the back seats and cargo loaded, we'd anticipate that the rear suspension will perform better because it is designed to support a heavy load. We discovered that the cabin had excellent soundproofing against all kinds of sounds. Although there was some wind noise up front and tire noise was mostly dependent on the road surface texture, it was simple to carry on a conversation at any time without having to raise our voices. The ID Buzz's outside design is undoubtedly remarkable, but we believe we may prefer its interior look even more. The car we drove had a lot of character. The interior was decorated with a variety of textures, wood grain designs, and pastel colors. It sounds like it shouldn't work, but ice cream and French fries are an unexpected combination that works well. Several Easter eggs, ID Buzz silhouettes, and even an embossed happy face are amusing icons that liven up mundane door trim screw caps. Furthermore, we adore VW's innovative play and pause symbols on the brake and accelerator pedals. Buyers may be won over by the ID Buzz's personality alone. The ID Buzz's strength in space is significant. Taller drivers and passengers may fit comfortably in both rows of the short wheelbase variant that we initially tested. The 3-row American model contains even more, as was mentioned. In order to help passengers find a comfortable posture, the second row can move a few inches forward or backward and the seatbacks can recline. VW effectively utilizes the extended wheelbase van, which is over 10 inches longer than the 2-row model. The dual-power sliding side doors, for instance, open far enough to allow adults to relatively easily enter the third row. Just keep in mind that the entry via that 60 side of the 60/40 bench is substantial. 12-inch central infotainment display screen is a standard feature of the ID Buzz. Along with showing speed, battery life, navigation, and other data, a small digital display is located in front of the driver. The lack of actual dials and buttons, which has been a major issue with recent Volkswagen models, is carried over from the ID.4's overall layout. Instead, it chooses capacitive touch controllers. They are frequently unresponsive, can require repeated tapping, and can be overall frustrating to operate. Although the ID Buzz we drove had the most recent software and appeared to respond to inputs more quickly, basic operation is still considerably more finicky than it should be. We're not totally sure that this problem can be fixed entirely by software updates at this time. VW's innovative driver assistance system, IQ Drive, is also included. The majority of the aids work in a way that we like. For instance, adaptive cruise control can be quite handy, especially in sluggish traffic. However, the lane-keeping assistance was too quick to react to intervene, so we had to turn it off each time we started the car. In the future, we hope to see the capability of storing system settings. One of the key justifications to think about purchasing an ID is storage. Buzz. For storing small objects up front, there are roomy pockets and rubberized trays, as well as a deep hollow next to the steering wheel for vertically inserting your smartphone. Additionally, there are numerous USB charging ports, 4 in the front and 1 at each sliding door in the back. Additionally, there is a center storage bin that has adjustable cup holders, folding front and rear apertures, and is totally detachable for easy access to the second row. What kind of add-ons or attachments the aftermarket creates for that location has us very curious. The cargo compartment behind the second row of seats is unquestionably big. The vertical design of the van results in a low load floor and a high ceiling. The space between the hatch and the back seats is also broad and deep. The addition of a third row of seats will undoubtedly have some impact on the cargo area, but we're optimistic that there will still be enough of room to make a level load space over the seatbacks. The third row and the second row both split and fold down. Perfect for anything like a compact van-sized mattress. Due to the fact that the cost of electricity is still far lower than what we spend to fill a petrol tank, consumers prefer range over efficiency when it comes to electric vehicles. We conducted some quick calculations using the European WLTP numbers for the European model that Volkswagen released, taking into account what we've seen in the VW ID.4 cars we've tested, even though we're still a long way from seeing meaningful range and efficiency data for US market models. According to our calculations, the European single-motor rear-wheel drive ID Buzz would have an estimated 200-mile range and an efficiency of about 39 kWh/100 miles. The North American spec van's range is estimated to be between 240 and 250 miles using the same reasoning. The ID.4 was shown to have an average 13% longer range than the EPA estimate in Edmunds real-world EV range tests. So it's possible that the ID will yield the same performance results. Buzz. In regard to charging, the ID Buzz will be able to accommodate 170 kilowatts at a DC fast charger in addition to level 2 AC charging up to 11 kilowatts. In terms of time, You can charge from empty to full in as little as 7.5 hours at home and from 5% battery to 80% capacity in as little as 30 minutes using a DC fast charger under the correct circumstances.